What's up, you guys? Yeah, I'm chilling today with my hoodie on. Yes, I am. It is Monday and it's already been a rough day. I don't know about you guys, but the first, well, not the first day of the week, but the first day of the work week, productive week, sometimes it could start off a little shaky because we're all trying to get back acclimated into the week. So, yes, I appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks so much. If you could already please hit the like button. I know you guys seen that question when you guys came in, but it'll be great again. If you haven't, please hit the like button. And if you are new here, subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss any things that I have going on. I have a lot of lives during the week, which Monday, 6 o'clock. I know I started a little later, 6:15. This week might be 6:15, but that's okay. I'm still here. Wednesday, 6:15, and then Fridays is my late lives, which is at 9:30. If you have missed my lives, please go ahead and watch the playback. They were really good episodes. But today we are talking about Ciara and Russell Wilson. They are the hot couple. And they are pretty hot actually. They have 3 kids, He has a bonus child and doing the stepdaddy thing. And of course, we all know one of the kids is Future's child. So if you are in a blended family like myself, you do know how that works, regardless if you have millions of dollars or not. It's all the same. We are all the same. There's nothing special except, I guess, the fame and the money. But besides all of that, we all go through the same type of issues. But today we're going to talk about her. And what I consider her is the modern wife material. So, modern wife material is just a term, they say, are you wife material? But I notice there's a difference. The modern wife is different from, let's say, just an average or a traditional wife. Modern wives come with a lot of different things that are, let's say, more acceptable today than it was back in the day. A lot of women, they are falling right into that. And I call it a trap because sometimes when you intertwine modern and traditional together, you kind of get lost in the sauce because some men really just want traditional lifestyles. Traditional does not mean that you cannot work at all, does not mean that. It just means that you are taking away from the husband and wife dynamic. So let's say Ciara, we see her, still doing her thing. Now she started off as a solo artist and she worked her way up still as a solo artist, but her name is very, big time now. But when she started off, she was very young, I think 17. And a lot of her videos did consist of a lot of dancing, which that's what we know her by. But then, she got with Future, and we all know Future is the Pookie, the Charles, the Ray Ray type of guy, and she fell in that trap. Now, now there are some women who fall into, I say it's a trap because we all know as women we should not be with men like that unless you're like that, right? So Ciara was with a man that was a Ray Ray Pookie Charles. So is she the same as him? And she just, wanted to show her true colors because we all know when she was with him, he had dreads, she got dreads. Like anything that he did, she did. But she did know she was a number. So he had plenty of baby mothers, and she was just one of them. Now, as a celebrity, as a hot and popping, female out in those streets of entertainment, why would she stoop that low? Especially the type of woman that she may show that she is. So yes, she was dancing and everything, but was she really a good wife? Was she wife material? Was she wife material? And for her being with him, I would say no, she was not wife material. A person that is wife material tends to choose better. Like she already knew she was gonna be a number from the jump. Okay, so if you already choosing to be with somebody and you're like number 6, that means that you want that lifestyle. All right, cool, it didn't work out. She thought she was gonna be able to change him, right? Okay, I'm a number, but I'm gonna be the last. That's what she thought. No, of course not. Once you go past a certain number, ma'am, that's it. You're gonna be way more. You're gonna be way less than what you thought you were gonna get. Those type of men want that. He doesn't care. He didn't care if you were Ciara or Rihanna. You still gonna be a number and he's gonna get plenty more. Definitely. So she thought her looks and her fame was gonna get him to budge. Mm-mm. So she was like, you know what? I'm worth better than this. So she left him. And then bumped into Russell Wilson and he was like, we're gonna do this Christian thing and let's start over. Both of them start over and let's be celibate and practice this lifestyle. He tried to change her into a we call it good woman, right? Okay, did that work? I don't know. I'm gonna play a few clips because I don't know if that actually worked because he was trying. He was trying to get her to be a certain space that, was she? Let's see. I mean, do you see all of this? So, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm gonna get into this chat. So, I mean, she's having fun. That's what they would call it. Um, and there's nothing wrong with having fun, right? There's nothing wrong with having fun. I'm not gonna say that. Especially, I used to dance too. Let me remove this, y'all. I used to dance too. I was a dance choreographer, really somebody in the background. I made up dance moves for hip hop and all of that good stuff. Um, but not that I can't still do it now. I used to teach dance classes, dance in heels to be exact. I used to teach that class amongst other women in a studio. My class was only really to build up women's confidence with their man. Okay, so the stuff that I taught, um, besides the confidence and the coaching part, was dance moves. Because you could, some women are very, how can I say, they're very insecure. So I feel that if you dance, you feel like nobody's watching, it can help you be, not be as insecure. You're not worried about everything that you're doing. You're just going to do it, right? Into a closed segment, a closed setting. It's just me and you guys. That's what I used to do. And it was just to help them with their man. Okay. Then when I got married, I couldn't do it anymore because I, got pregnant and everything. Now, like I said, that was in an enclosed space. I would never do that now and have that out while I'm married. That's what I'm saying. I personally don't think that that is right. Now, obviously, every man is different, right? So, at the end of the day, that is Russell Wilson's problem. That's what we say, right? That's his wife. So, if he feels that he wants her to do those things, because a lot of times Russell was recording that. But let me get into the chat. What's up, Missy Loves Company? These women love Future. Be careful, Lady Di. They do love Future. I like his music, but you know what I'm saying? It's not even about all that. We're talking about character. We're talking about husband. Because you could do all that freaky stuff with your man. I mean, let's be real. What's up, Big? She wasn't stopping her. She wasn't stopping. Her career was built on her being a tease. Yeah, it definitely was. There's many videos I could just name that was just like a tease. You are completely right. Yes. So let me see. Is that an Adam's apple? Never mind. There was sometimes people back in the day used to call her a hermaphrodite. Like they thought she was that. And I'm like, no, I think it's just because she's taller, she's very slim. So you think that's an Adam's apple, but no, she is a woman. Big says, I'm cool exercising my judgments and whatnot. Yeah, we're just going to talk about it. And the reason why I brought this up is because, women watch other women thinking they could do the same thing. And I want to put reality to you guys. Ciara can do that, right? That's her business. That's meaning her business. I'm talking about her career. Her career is to be an entertainer. She feels the need. She still has to pop and lock. But she's an entertainer. I want you guys to understand, as an entertainer, you have a choice to do what it is that you want to do. It's just that Ciara feels the need to continue that, being a married woman with children, and she has a daughter. So unless she feels that her daughter should be doing this when she gets of age, I believe that it's not a great example, right? And then women like to follow other women. I don't believe it's a great example for our kids and even wives, future wives. No, you should not be doing stuff like that when you get married, period. Unless you are a stripper or in that category. And then that's between you and your man. But don't think that because Ciara is doing it, you can do it. That's why I wanted to make this video. Coco K says, I love Future too, and so does Sierra. Right. Big says, I bet the pendulum community begs to differ and praises her showing out like she does. I agree to that. Because I swear. What's up, Snuggles? What does morals look like to you? All right, I'm gonna get into that. What morals looks like to me. Or I can answer it now. So as a let me break it down. If you are looking to get married and you're a single woman, morals to me should be based around what your long-term goals are. So if your long-term goals is to be a wife, then your morals should match it. Because if not, when the wife opportunity comes, you're not going to be a good one. So a wife is someone who provides not only stability mentally, all of that is peace for your spouse. You provide a lot of different things that can help uplift the marriage. So you need to work on yourself independently. If it requires therapy, a lot of people like to talk about that. If it requires therapy to help you with past traumas, go do so, right? Because the end goal is to be married. So when you get to that level, you're going to learn in the process. No one is going to be perfect starting off as a wife, but at least you have some basics so you won't end up doing stuff like Ciara. You're still on Instagram, you're still on Facebook and Twitter and all these other Snapchat apps, TikToks, posing provocatively, and then get mad when your man said, "Excuse me." No. So your morals should be based around your upcoming lifestyle. So when it is time for you, or for a man to look to see what type of woman he wants, he could see you. Wow, she's different from the modern woman. Most men don't want modern women. You understand? So you want to stand out. So your morals should be based off of that. DL Saint, I really want to know podcast. Interesting name. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. What's good, sis? Salute to the chat. Yes, I appreciate it. What is the meaning of values? Well, that depends on you, but values could, stem from, let's say your household, you want it to be a productive one. So you base your values off of a productive life, either it's financially, mentally, physically, whatever it is that you would like to do for yourself, as long as it is not hurting the community. Your values should be based off of something that's uplifting you and others. What is the meaning of culture? So culture, you already know a lot of people they follow different backgrounds. I don't really get too much into that on this platform, but cultures is depending on, your religion or your, cultural practices. So I can't really tell you that. It's up to what you feel and what you believe. Like I said, as long as it's not hurting the community. Yes. What's up, hustler and muscular? Thanks for being here. You guys, he was on my Friday's live last Friday. Go check that out. Very good insight. He says, Ciara loves Russell Wilson, but she belongs to Future. I guess you guys all agree. It makes me want to share one of my videos. So let me share my screen really quick, because I know you guys probably see my videos and some of you probably haven't. So I just want to show you a video I posted a couple days ago. So let's see. One second. Let me get that going. Here we go. All right. Here it is. Oh, it's not loud, you guys. Let me rewind that back. No, so I posted this video a couple days ago, and it was just showing how her pictures. So she's fully covered. All right, cool. But then her pictures are like not appropriate. So let me play it with sounds to see if you guys could hear it. All right. if you are in a relationship or married, please understand that when you do that, you are disrespecting your partner. To be in those type of positions, which are sexual positions, means that you want other men to you. And if you are feeling that you are free and liberated, please be free and liberated by yourself. If you want more attention from your man, just ask him. When he sees you bending over for a random man, he's gonna bend over a random chick. Future, future, future. She wants. That's funny. Oh, 1 second, you guys. So, I mean, that's just how I felt. You know, when I do my videos, I get a little spicy, but that's how I felt. I mean, if you're gonna pose like that, don't expect your man to be doing the same with somebody else because you're showing it to the world. I'm just being real with you. You're allowing men to lust over you. Um, so let me get into some more of the chat. All right. All is well. Thanks for asking. Yes. Facts, you can't do 304 behavior and then think you are doing you are going to be a wife. Exactly. If you act like a 304, expect to get men that just want to mess around in the bed. That is all the way facts. I'm not going to talk about the men that like that type of stuff. I'm going to talk about majority of men. Okay, so Snuggles says, when I was asking about culture, I was asking for the dictionary terminology. Okay. All right, I'll get into that, Snuggles. What's up, Hank? Thanks for being here once again. I appreciate all your support. So yes. Now, I wanted to share the comments of this video. So, all right. What I said was modern wife. Let me make it big. What I said was modern wife material looks like Ciara Wilson, who is married to Russell Wilson. She dated Future, which is considered the bad boy. Show respect to your boyfriend / spouse by posing for a picture appropriately. Ciara Wilson, who twerks for other men to see, is the modern wife standard. Trash it. So that's just how I felt. Now, let me see. There's a comment here, which she was actually supposed to be on this live, but we'll catch her next time. She says, Miss Ashun Possible says, I generally agree that a wife has to be careful how she carries herself, and her, along with Beyonce and other celebs who need to tone it down as mature women. However, when we take shots at Ciara for one person she dated before her husband and attempt to invalidate her versus talk about the correctness of the action, while we as individuals likely have worse in our past, it only bolsters her in the eyes of young women as her being the champion of haters, true or not. Fact is, what a celebrity does for work will never work in a non-celebrity relationship. And the reason is evident. She's selling products and music. Regular women are not so much, just my opinion though. Now, for something like that, the only issue I have with it is, like I said, women watch other women thinking it's okay to be the same in their relationships. Men watching Russell thinking that that's okay for a woman to pose in that manner. So we always talk about the women, but also men. If you guys believe that this is okay, I mean, really, you're just allowing men to want to be with her, admire her in a disrespectful way. You guys don't want her out there messing around, do you? No, I don't think so. So if you allow a woman to do this, it's going to allow men to want to be with her regardless of her marital status. And then it's going to allow the woman to feel she is free in her marriage, free with other people. So I don't believe that that is something you should consider. Also, people watch celebrities because of admiration. Also, they want to be in their shoes. But in a real world that's outside of entertainment, this is not something that we do on a normal basis. So why do it? Why want to be like something like that? So she also said that I, had like a personal shot at her. I guess that's what she didn't like. And okay, I need to find a resolution. I'm already telling you the resolution. I'm saying don't do it. So in order to correct somebody, you got to tell them what they're doing wrong. So if it becomes a personal shot, it's a personal shot. How else are we supposed to get personal and tell each other what's wrong? Right? When women say that you have a small penis, is that a personal shot? Because anytime a woman says something about a man, they don't say that's a personal shot. You know, when you break up with somebody and they be like, well, that's why your dick's small. Isn't that what women say? Is that a personal shot then? Calling men narcissists. Is that a personal shot? Is that a personal attack? You call men women beater, the ones that's not beating they damn women. Is that a personal attack? But no one says personal attack when it comes about a man. No one. And that is the issue I have. So I'm going to continue to read some of the comments here. Now, my reply to her was, I am stating facts. There is no nice way to say it. All of my videos are very direct because I am direct. At the same time, I am very understanding and respect other people and what they decide to do. Everyone may not like what I do either, which is fine and normal. Your opinion brings diversity. I appreciate it. So I try to be respectful, you guys. Now I'm going to read this last comment from her, but we'll get her input next live. So she says, with all due respect, you're stating your opinion like I am stating mine. That's okay. Clearly, Russell Wilson doesn't agree at all. My father told me to know my man and respect his individual boundaries of respect and disrespect. I have found this to vary from man to man. So yeah, every man is different. Every man is going to have their own particular way of doing things. Yes, you should respect it. But as a man, if you're allowing your woman to do this, especially in the average world, you're disrespecting not only yourself, but her. So let's be real. Ciara is respecting she continues and says, Ciara is respecting the boundaries of her marriage, which is why she is happily married like you. Now, I don't know why she believes that she's happily married. I feel like she's doing whatever she wants to do at this point. And Russell Wilson is just like, whatever. And, she's just trying to stay relevant. So she feels she has to continue to twerk because she twerked in the beginning. You don't have to stay relevant. How about you, help the community be better? Because people twerking like you, Ciara, can't get married today. You thought about that? No. She continues to say, I think it's best to make the point of the difference between sexual versus sexy. There is no difference. I'm responding as I'm talking, you guys. There is no difference between sexual and sexy. I don't see the difference because it's the same thing. If you're going to be sexy, most women that learn to be sexy are posing like Ciara on the gram, on TikTok and everything while they're in relationships. Who are you posing for? She continues to say, I agree with you in general. However, I was turned off when you went into she wants future. Of course she wants future. She was doing the same thing when she was with Future. What did she change? She didn't change a damn thing. That's what got her pregnant in the first place. And a lot of other women are getting pregnant because they doing what Ciara's doing. What's up, Bruiser? How are you doing? Thanks for being here. They're doing the same exact thing. So what is it really changing? Now, sometimes people come on here and start, going back and forth. So All About Jones, what's up, guy? How are you? He says she ain't selling nothing but sex in exchange for attention. She ain't got no music to promote or products to push. Yeah, you guys can go on my Instagram and check that out. He also says they belong to the streets. And he also says now reality is they're only reflecting low vibration sexual vibes. They lose points and respect for the fact. All right. Marcus, what's up? How are you? He says the sad part is that Ciara made Russell Wilson wait a whole year to get the box while she gave it to what is this? Little Bow Wow, Future, Trey Songz, and 50 Cent, and other men in the industry for free. So he definitely should have picked a better woman with less bodies for the status he has. Now, I never understood why Future even picks a woman like that. So for him, he has a range of women, right? Plenty of women to choose from, literally, right? He could create a whole audition and then pick who he wants. But he chose someone that was a baby mother, single mother. And then she's a single mother from a man that has multiple baby mothers. Why would he choose someone like that? So what I believe is that this was his crush. A lot of men crushed on Ciara back in the day when she was first hot and popping. All right. And he got what he wanted from back in those times. Ooh, I'm gonna get her one day. I'm gonna get her one day, and then he snatched her up. Now, would you consider him to be a simp? That's what y'all call a simp or a weak man? And even for regular guys, not just about celebrities, a regular guy. If you see a woman that chose to be with a man, had a baby with someone, and she was number 5, number 6, I think, yeah, why would you do that? Why would you do that? So, Big says, in fact, that is a personal shot talking about private body parts. Exactly. But they don't call when women say that to you guys. They don't say that's a personal shot. All right. Big says, if it doesn't want someone telling her she smells like a wharf, she needs to keep the same energy comments to herself. Snuggles says, in your culture, does the man run the woman or does the woman run the man? I am trying to understand why is there a misunderstanding when it comes to the gender dynamics. Okay, let me read it again. In your culture, does the man run the woman or does the woman run the man? Okay, so my culture, Snuggles, does not pertain to none of this modern lifestyle. But the modern culture, let me put it like that. The modern culture, in majority aspect, woman runs the man. Woman runs the man. Men follow the woman to a certain degree. It's happy wife, happy life in the modern culture. There are some men who have they're more of the leader in the aspect, but majority of the people today, they do that 50-50 lifestyle and the woman runs the relationship. And I'm just talking about a majority. What's up, His Show Podcast? How are you doing? Thanks for being here. Yes, he's a simp, he says. Okay. Big says she was the tease and his greatest conquest. Missy Loves Company. A lot of celebs date within. They hate the gold digging woman. Well, you see, a lot of celebs date within. They hate the gold digging woman. Well, yeah, because I guess she can't gold dig if she has money. That's what you're saying. Hustler and Muscular says Russell Wilson is a sympathy because he allows his wife to engage in 304 behavior. Yeah, he's a simp. Yeah. That's what he likes. If she was just his friends with benefits, it would have been okay. But instead, this is his wife. Coco K says Future saw the ride video. He wanted to see if she can live up to her video. She's definitely living up to that video, but all out in the street though. That's funny. All right, let me read some more of these comments. So, 1 second, y'all. Oh, if you guys want to call in, I want to provide the link. If you want to call in and talk about this topic, please do so. Um, I'm gonna provide the link for you guys because it's what I'm saying, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts too, and what do you feel? So call in.
Don't relax and take notes. Niggas just need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. Niggas just need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. While I take toast, relax and take notes. While I take.
So yes, let me put the link in the chat. You could call in if you want. Now, I wanted to make a point though. So Beyonce, right? Beyonce is an entertainer. And she doesn't do what Ciara's doing. Now, has she showed her behind? Somewhat she has, but not like this, you guys. She's what we call a classy, I say a classy version of Ciara. But she does have somewhat respect for herself, her kids, and her husband. Okay. Now, that's what I feel. See, she doesn't pose like Ciara and twerk like that. Doesn't do it. I've never seen a video or a personal video of Beyonce twerking in the bathroom with her towel on. I've never seen that. That is very distasteful. Now, to get back into the comments. Okay, the reverse. Paul, what's up, guy? He says the sad reality we are all living with today's modern world of men and women. Lady Di keeps stating the facts. Thank you so much. Bella Rings. Bella Rings is gonna be in on my channel on Wednesday. You guys don't want to miss that. She says, sheesh. Someone is not going to like this. All right, of course. That's why I make these videos. It's not for anyone to like unless you agree. Sherm, he was on my live last week too, on Friday. He says that's way out of pocket. Yeah, I agree. Why would you even do that, Miss Ciara? Cameron says, thank you so much for commenting, Cameron. She says, and this is what women don't understand. He's a simp not because of how he treats her. It's who he chose. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. It's who he chose. And that's exactly what I was trying to say. Why would you choose that? And you got so many options, man. Ali, what's up? He says, this is where we are. Okay, now this comment is in reference to a live that he was on, and there was a guy on there that does not correct men when it comes to women behaving in this manner. So he goes, I appreciate you calling out what you saw today with men pondering for what they talk against, but then promote at the same time. It's wild. So those men are promoting you guys to, know what you want, go for it, get you a good woman. But then you also say, oh yeah, it's okay for a woman to be 304s. There's a lot of men that like that. So that's what they call pandering. All right. Alvi, thank you so much. She says, seriously, I thought I was the only one thinking it because what she did was pretend to be a whole Christian for Russell so he could pick her then. Went back to normal phase once he married her. These people playing with the Most High. Okay. So yeah. You guys make sure you follow my Instagram page, Lady Di DTM. DTM stands for Dating to Marriage. This page is pretty new. But yes, follow. Well, you guys know I'm pretty new. You guys know that I am pretty new to social media, pretty much. So I am just trying to spread the word. I came out of my shell. Nah, but I was really, enjoying life and having kids and whatnot. Um, all right. So Snuggle says, if you could change something in the modern culture, what would it be and how would you go about it? So Snuggles, what I'm doing now, honestly, it takes time. No one is gonna wake up, see my video, and be like, "Yeah, I agree with that," and then, "Yeah, I'm gonna change." No. So I try to use celebrities because most celebrities are living that modern life, modern marriage, and I use them and I say, "Hey, no, don't do that." You should probably watch more of my shorts that I post because my shorts kind of go straight to the core of the issues that I've been seeing, and I pretty much am very direct in those, and you can see exactly what I'm about on there. Um, Here I possibly come. Well, if you want to come, definitely I'm here. Snuggles also says, it seems Mr. Wilson may enjoy watching this. Watching this could be just voyeurism. Okay. Sexual pleasure. I mean, hey, I don't know. That would be a little crazy. All right. How did Mr. Wilson grow up? Was Russell Wilson the product of a single household? Now, let me think, because I don't even know if he was in a single household. I don't know that answer, but I do know his first wife wasn't black. Okay, she wasn't black. Snuggle says, in your culture, do your men pick their woman out of necessity or lust? All right. So in my culture, Snuggles is out of necessity. Out of necessity. The ones that pick over less, obviously they're gonna have a lot of women and not taking care of these women and all of that. So no, that's not good. Now I have a few questions. Let me see here. Let me see. I have a question. Hold on. Let me find that question. Um, so the question really is, Ciara's doing this to stay relevant. I think I said that earlier. And I believe, yeah. So if she started off doing something, then she wants to continue. She doesn't feel she needs to change because the man that she chose, right, too, allows her to be herself. Now, I don't know if that's something they spoke about because before they were practicing, to kind of leave the intimacy alone. Don't, start that and work on each other. Now, in that, did they say, hey, Russell said, I know that you twerk, but are you going to stop? That's the thing. Did he actually say that? So it was biblical based when they started, but then now when you see her, that's not biblical. So I'm trying to understand, why did he start off like that? It seems like he wanted her to be like that. He had everything for her to pray and all of that. But then she turned right back around within a year. She was already out there twerking. So she was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. This is my brand. This is what I'm going to do. People respect me for showing my ass. I'm on cars. I'm on, a whole bunch of things. And this is what I do. No one is going to follow me anymore. They're going to say that, I follow men. What they pick me's. That's what they call people, quote unquote, like that. You can't change a woman. You're gonna be called a pick me. So she didn't want to be labeled as such, even though it doesn't matter. If she has all this money and has access to things, why do you care what someone calls you? Continue to do what you're doing. But you know why? Honestly, she probably said, you know what, I can't do that. Because can Ciara really sing? Let's be honest. Can she really just sing and dance, but not provocatively? Can she? Because she has to hold up that too. Like, all right, if I can't show my ass on this car, my vocals got to be on point. And honestly, her vocals are not on point. She can't just sit there and sing. That's why. What her value is her ass. Like a stripper. Like a stripper. She's not a stripper, but she's acting like a stripper. Instead of working on herself, she's devaluing herself. And Russell was like, you know what? I don't even care, because at the end of the day, you come home to me. That's what women say. So I guess that's why they were saying that he's weak or whatever. Okay. So the reason why I'm asking about Russell Wilson, it seems Ciara did nothing wrong. Russell Wilson is the one who chose to deal with this and is still choosing. Yeah, and I'm trying to teach men today, and my husband usually comes on here, which I'm gonna have him come on here more to talk to the men. I talk to the ladies. But in our beliefs, we don't believe that men should allow women to do stuff like that. Because the average woman that does that, like I said earlier, is that is promoting a lifestyle that's going to get them pregnant. So in order to twerk and dance like that in public places, you're going to attract those type of men that are not going to, ask you to be their wife. That is not realistic. And then they're going to get caught up in that lifestyle, thinking they got to perform all the time. And then they're going to end up pregnant, performing in the bedroom with a man that they don't even know if he wants to marry them. You see, today's culture, modern culture, is promoting women to be single mothers. That's why I'm making this video. You cannot do that in an average lifestyle. So people today believe that you can, but then they wonder why they're not married. Men don't want that. Majority of men. Misery Loves Company says, I hope women don't think they are going to get a good man this way. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Snuggle says, pick me is two words put together that signifies that someone wants to be picked. How can that be an insult? Never understand your culture. Snuggles, where are you from, and what does your culture represent? Where are you from, and what does your culture represent? I don't understand it either. I can't answer for it. I can just tell you what I'm seeing, and I'm in this culture. This is my culture, right? But I don't partake in all of that. You all seem to take things that are positive and try to turn them into insults when they are clearly not. And you all will take negative words and call them a term of endearment. Yeah. Rodney Dunn. Hello, sir. Thanks for being here. At the end of the day, Ciara is not going to leave because she knows that no one else will. What? No one else will, let's see, marry her if she leaves Russell. Yeah. Because not only is she a baby mother first, then she'll be an ex-wife with dollars. So someone has to match her dollars. And a man with dollars typically does not pick a Ciara. I'm not talking about the way she looks. I'm talking about what she has. Kids, baby mama, ex-wife. Like, you are exactly right, Rodney. I agree with that. That is on point. Snuggle says, should a man take advice from another man if he chooses what he wants his woman to do, even though the other man does not agree with him? Okay. Let me read it again. I get it, but let me make sure. Should a man take advice from another man if he chooses what he wants his woman to do? So no one should force anybody to do anything. I believe that all people should use wisdom when they're making their final decision on something. So let's say people on my platform, they're going to hear where I come from, why I say what I say, and then the facts behind it, right? And then as a person, you make your own judgment. If you want to pick a woman who wants to be like Ciara, know what can happen based off of the facts. Do you want to deal with that? Then that would be your business, right? And then if you want to take advice because you're like, wow, I understand what you're saying. I think I want to play it safe. And then you pick a woman who respects herself. Because long term, I feel like this will be a better option, less drama. She is for me, not for the streets, not for everybody else. Then that would be a choice that man has to make. Can he listen to advice from someone who is different from him? Yes. I do it. I listen to people's advice too. It might not be the same as mine, but I like to understand where they're coming from. And if I feel like I want to implement it into mine because I think it will be helpful, then I'll do so. So we all should be able to learn from each other. Rodney says, and I think that's the reason why Russell let her do what she does, because he knows this. Ooh, killing them with the facts. I agree with that. Hustler and Muscular, are you ready to go, sir? You could just unmute yourself so I can know you're ready. All right, cool. What up, Guy?
What's going on, Lady Di?
Nothing much. Just getting into this topic here. What are your thoughts so far?
I think it's ridiculous. Because like I said in the comments, if Russell Wilson and Ciara were just two friends with benefits looking for thrills and chills, this wouldn't be a big deal. But this is someone that he married. This is someone that he decided to commit to. And he's allowing this kind of mess to just slide under the radar? No, Does not compute. No.
Right.
You're not finna sit up here and tell me that it's okay for a woman to be married to another man, but at the same time she can still be for the streets. Or she can be for the streets, yet at the same time be for a relationship. You're not finna sit up and tell me no stupid ass stuff like that, because we all know it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I agree.
I'm blown. Go ahead, speak. I'm blown.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I want to add in, first of all, this is detrimental to Russell Wilson and to Ciara. It's detrimental to their marriage. It's detrimental to their relationship, because, like I said, you can't have the spouses running around doing whatever it is they want to do. That's nonsense. And second of all, this is setting a horrible example to other people, especially the young generation, as far as what a marriage should be. Now, I don't know if you have daughters or anything like that, but can you imagine your daughter seeing something like that and thinking this is what a marriage should be like? Oh, I can be married to somebody, but yet I can still run the streets and do what I want. Yeah. That's a horrible example. Can you imagine that? What are your thoughts on that before I continue?
I can't, I have all sons, so if I had a daughter, honestly, I wouldn't like to promote that type of life for her, because it's not going to be a good one. She's going to feel that she has to be promiscuous because her sexual desires her to, be provocative, how she danced in public, and then attracting those type of men. And then, of course, when you dance like that, you want to be sexual because it's a sexual rhythm and hormones that you're going to obtain from it. So I would not want my daughter, no.
Good to know. So yes, it's a horrible example. And another thing is, how should I put this? It undermines all the traditional values we were taught growing up as far as how marriages and relationships go. For example, we were always told, women, as a young girl, you were told, wait until you're married before having sex. But after seeing stuff like this, we're gonna start wondering, sweetheart, do you really want to wait till you're married before having sex? Or are you just saying that to the men you don't find attractive? Because again, like you said, Ciara, she got it in with Future, got it in with 50 Cent, got it in with Bow Wow, but then Russell Wilson coming to the picture, made this man wait a whole entire year before getting it in.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. What's up with that?
But
Now,
see,
and I know some, and let me say this, and I know some knucklehead in the comments gonna be like, well, Ciara learned from her mistake. Ciara gave it up to Future, and then she learned he was not the right guy. She gave it to 50 Cent and learned that he was not the right guy. And she learned from her mistakes. Ask yourself this question. How the holy mother of hell you make the same mistake with the same type of man and then saying you learn from that? You dealt with one bad boy, got that result. Dealt with another bad boy, got that result. You get around Russell Wilson, the good guy. Now you want to say you learn from your mistakes. No, 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 does not compute. Does not compute. Does not come. No, no, no. That's a way of life for Ciara. Ciara wants to be for the streets. She wants to be for Future. She wants to be for 50 Cent, assuming she's still dealing with him. And now she thinks she's ready to move on to a new man. So she's undermining all the values that we were taught growing up. Wait until your mirror before having sex. No, I just want to have sex with you specifically. If you're in a relationship, be respectful to your man. Nowadays, they say that's controlling. You're trying to control your woman. Stuff like that. Because any other person would be like, well, I got a boy. Think of it like this. Ever heard a woman say, well, I got a boyfriend. I can't be talking to you. I got a boyfriend. I'm married. I can't be talking to you. Correction. She don't want to be talking to that man specifically. She wants to cheat, but not with this guy specifically. So it undermines everything we were taught growing up as far as how marriages and relationships go. So it's mind blowing. This is a horrible example as far as marriage. This is a modern marriage ready to explode. It's like a volcano ready to erupt and take and destroy the whole world. In this case, destroy the whole community if it hasn't already happened. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's happening. Thanks so much for that insight. But there's a comment in here that I want you to read. I think it's talking about what you're saying. I will go back up to the other comments, but while I have him here really quick, let's see. Now, Snuggle says to you, the young man on the panel seems not to understand that this man has his own mind and he has proven that he likes what he likes. Okay, let me read the other one and then you can respond. The young man on the panel seems to be a dictator of how other people's relationships should go and seems this is very interesting when you are in a culture that does not adhere to tradition. Do you have anything to say to that?
Dictator? How am I a dictator? How am I dictating how relationships go if I'm speaking from a place of logic and speaking on something that's been going on since God created the earth? We all know how this go down. If you're married, you shouldn't be doing certain things, and that goes for the men and for the women. And as far as Russell Wilson, like what he's doing, I can say, brother, you shouldn't be getting married. If you want to deal with a female, because like I mentioned in your last stream, one thing I'm not going to compromise is a woman who's an advocate user of social media, whether it be TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. I could probably let slide, but if you like to be on Instagram and Twitter, I'm not dealing with you on a serious level. If you want to do that, fine, but I'll deal with you accordingly. And that's what Russell Wilson made the mistake. He's dealing with Ciara like a traditional woman, even though she clearly wants to be a modern woman that wants to be for the streets and not for the relationship. So this ain't no goddamn dictatorship. This is speaking on something that's been put in effect since the earth was created. This is how marriages have been since our grandparents and grandparents were growing up, but somewhere along the line, it all got flipped upside down thanks to women's liberation. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I understand. So Snuggles says, what tells you you shouldn't do it? This man has a reputation of allowing this. There are many different types of relationships, and your culture has proven. Yeah, there are different types of relationships. It's just that the relationships today is not successful because of the behaviors that we're addressing in this video. This is the last thing, Hustler. He says, if Snuggle says, if you want to go by logic, I want you to look at all the different relationships that people have been enthralled in for many years and explain what you have noticed.
I don't get it. What do you mean by different relationships?
I guess the different types of relationships. Like you see the relationship that Russell and Ciara has versus the type of relationships that me and you are talking about right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess Russell Wilson's in what I would call a modern marriage where she can be a modern woman while at the same time being in a committed relationship. That's not how the dynamics work. This goes outside what we were originally taught as far as relationships are concerned.
Right.
And this is what, again, this is what Russell likes. He shouldn't be married to that woman. I would never disrespect myself by dealing with a female that wants to be on social media and then calling her my girlfriend. That's a disrespect to me, and it's a disrespect to people that you know want traditional relationship. I'll be setting a bad example as far as what a relationship should be like.
Right.
And as far as different kind of relationships, well, you got I guess you could say you got traditional boyfriend and girlfriend relationships. You have the F-boy, F-girl relationships. You got the friends with benefits relationships. And trust me, I've had all three, so I know how they go. With the friends with benefits relationship, it means y'all friends. Y'all like to kick it. Y'all like to go out and do things that non-romantic related. And when the time is right, y'all like to have sex with each other or be sexually involved. That's how friends with benefits work. I've had several of those. Then you have the F-boy, F-girl, where y'all just meet up, have sex, and don't see each other for months on end, or sometimes years on end. So I see a difference. One is about traditionalism, love, putting God first. The other two relationships are more about just your lust, your acting on sexual desires, and not having much regard for the person you're doing it with. You may care about the person, but you want your lust to be fulfilled first. That's the difference I'm seeing.
That is true. I see that same difference. But I'm about to wrap it up here. I appreciate your insight. I would definitely snip you into one of my shorts, so be on the lookout for this week. But I'm going to end this live in just a few minutes. So thank you so much, Hustler and Muscular. Please come again. I'm going live Wednesday, Friday, or whenever you are available. Thank you.
Whoa, that's it? No 2 hours straight like you did Friday?
No, not on the weekday because it's busy up in here. So yeah, if you want to do long, Fridays are the days for us to do the long lives. Yes.
I'll be there.
All right. I will see you there. All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Hustler Muscular sounds disappointed. Yeah. I mean, I would love to go long most of the time, but I simply cannot, unfortunately. So Rodney Dunn says Lala should be calling Ciara and say, girl, sit your ass down and stop with the craziness. It's hard out here in these streets. Lala should know. Lala should know. She got a divorce with Mello, and yeah, now she's dating someone who is in their 20s, and she's in her 40s. Okay, the BMF guy, I believe you guys watched 50 Cent show. So yes, I do have to wrap it up, you guys. I am sorry if you thought this was going to be long, but if you haven't watched my lives, you know, you could take the time to watch a few of my lives or a live while I end this stream. I also have a video that is about to post at 7:30. So if you want to take a look right when I end this, please do so. And make sure you comment. Thank you so much, Snuggles, for all of your intake. What does your husband have you cooking today, young lady? You know, today I did not cook. I'm going to say that. But I do have some meals for the week. Today was not the day, unfortunately. But primarily I am the cook in this house, yes. So we are eating. It's just not going to be what I cooked. I'm just going to keep it real with you. But I appreciate you. Please come back again. Thank you so much. And everybody else that commented, thank you so much. But I am going to end this very shortly. Please take a look at my upcoming video. I posted it in the link. Please take a look. It is about a passport bro's wife. Passport bros are the ones who go overseas and get them a traditional woman. They are foreign and everything. So make sure you check that out because she was giving a lot of her input on how she felt. It is interesting. I want you guys to check it out. But yes, thanks so much. You will catch me on Wednesday. All right. And I will be here we're gonna do 6:15 this week. It's a busy week for me, but I will be here. Thank you so much, you guys.